We begin this hour with breaking news. Afghan police say a Taliban attack on a Kabul hotel housing foreign contractors has ended. All 3 Taliban fighters have been killed. According to an Afghan security official, the shootout ended after 7 hours. A policeman has been reportedly killed and 3 others have been wounded, but none of the hotel staff or guests have been hurt. Well, let's get more on this story from Bilal Sarwary. He is in Kabul for us. So this was a 7-hour shootout with multiple injuries. What more details are you getting on the ground, Bilal?
It was the middle of the night. This city of 6 million people were woken up to what sounded like a huge sound of explosion. It was felt all over the city. Electricity was cut off to almost all parts of the city. And we're now being told that at least 1 policeman have been killed, 3 members of the elite Afghan special forces were injured. And one Western source also told me that the hotel was empty, that there were only 11 people, and 2 Afghan guards at the northwest gate are also among those killed. What is significant is that these truck bombs come with a lot of explosives, and Kabul is a very populated city. So because it happened in the middle of the night, there were less people or no people, and it wasn't a residential area. A lot of bloodshed was avoided. We also understand that the attackers missed the real target, which appears to have been this guest house, and the truck bomb exploded next door inside a warehouse. This is a strategic area where Afghan traders have investments worth millions of dollars, not very far from the Hamid Karzai International Airport.
Well, as you say, Bilal, this happened in the middle of the night, even though it was massive explosions. If it was done during the daytime, presumably there would have been a lot more casualties, and there also weren't a lot of foreigners inside the hotel. Does that mean that the Taliban is perhaps not as strong as we may think they are?
Look, I mean, the reality is that this is, again, a security and intelligence failure. These truck bombs being brought in, where are these explosives being fixed? You know, everything is being done to prevent these trucks from entering Kabul. For example, they're banned during the day. But again, this is a city that has its challenges if you're the law enforcement or the security and the intelligence service. This is a city originally built to accommodate 80,000 vehicles, and now almost close to 1 million vehicles pass through Kabul almost on daily basis. So there is a challenge. Now, that being said, Afghanistan had been demanding for the last 2 years or so that Taliban must stop these huge truck bombs, at least in bigger cities like Kabul. And the president of Afghanistan, Ashraf Ghani, have been demanding that from Pakistan. He has been hoping that Pakistan could put pressure, but now it seems that this is a new trend. This is now almost the 3rd time that a huge truck is brought with explosives, and you just fear that an attack like that doesn't happen in a populated area. It doesn't happen during the daytime because the consequences will be very deadly. But one Afghan official said last night's attack was more about pain than fear, and he may be right, because the attack didn't go according to the plan, but the attack did create a climate of fear among ordinary people, and I'm sure people who left this morning for work and for businesses are quite scared, to say the least.
And you can understand that climate of fear, as you say, Bilal. This is the 3rd such attack. They're becoming more and more common with these car bombs. And also you have Daesh in Afghanistan. They launched an attack in the Hazaras area last week. Who is posing the biggest threat to Afghanistan right now?
Well, look, I think the Taliban are much more brutal. They're much more militant. Then you've got the Haqqani network that are part of the Taliban, but they're closer to Al-Qaeda, for example, and they're closer to Pakistani army and intelligence services, and that's one of the tensions here. But the attack in Kabul carried out by Daesh, as we're being told by the Afghan government, just presents yet another challenge. Afghanistan already has a lot of challenges, whether that's fighting with the Taliban, other militant groups, or a resurgent Al-Qaeda. The last thing Afghanistan wants is a group like Daesh, you know, a deadly, brutal militant group, and that'll just be too much for this country to bear the brunt of.
A country that has already been through so much. Bilal Sarwary in Kabul, thank you for the update.